Good morning, Forest Park. I'm Don Jones, the city manager for the city of Forest Park. It's February 10th, 2021, and we're in the middle of a big snowfall, so I thought we would get everyone here today. The people that know what's going on from our Public Works Department. We have Steve Gallenstein, our Public Works Director, and James Roberts, our Street Department Manager, and they're going to talk about snow removal and how the city does it and how you can work with them to make sure that your streets get plowed and or maintained properly so you can get to work and get out and do your thing. We appreciate you taking the time. We know you're busy, so we won't take too much of your time today to got to get you back out there to make sure the streets are plowed. I know we've got another snow coming. But I want to give you guys an opportunity to tell the citizens and the public a little bit about how you do snow removal, the things that are important and timing, and just move forward and let us know a little bit about what's going on with this snow.
I'm Steve Gallenstein. I'm the Public Works Director, and James Roberts is the Foreman Street Superintendent. We both manage and operate the Public Works snow and ice removal and control. The city actually has 171 lane miles that we take care of, and we split the city up into 7 zones. One zone for every driver. And each storm, of course, is unique in its own self. You might be a half inch, might be ice, or just plain snow. The group that we're working with is a smaller group of employees, so we try to schedule our time and our equipment according to each event.
What we do is we try to look at the forecasts, look at multiple forecasts, try to plan out for the storm. If it's a long event like last night where it was going to be 10 or 12 hours of snow, we try to bring people in layers because they're going to run out of hours. They only can drive so many hours before they have to get some rest. So we start with our mains, and we keep all of our mains open and our through streets, and then the very last is the cul-de-sacs and the residential. But we have mapped out where we have hills and troubled areas that we try to concentrate at the beginning. But the main thing is to get people in and out so they can go to work and get home safely.
So in saying that, we prioritize the main streets and the main thoroughfares first, and then we get back into the residential areas. This past event, which was supposed to be a couple inches, turned into a major event. And one of the biggest problems we come across is the parked cars and trying to get down some of these narrower streets. Of course, when we're plowing the snow, we can't plow it to the cars, so we plow it to the opposite side of the streets. And of course, that's putting all the snow down the curb line on the non-parking side. This creates a problem for the residents because they feel like they're being plowed in, and they have this big windrow of snow to remove. But that's the nature of the beast. We can only take it to the one side normally. So
yeah, that's correct. And in the cul-de-sacs, we get complaints because when we go in to clean them, the snow comes off. The plow doesn't pick it up and remove the snow; it just pushes it. So there's no way to. Don't put it in front of my house, put it here. We plow the street, we have to clear the street, and it falls off the plow. Now, we try to concentrate on not blocking any fire hydrants, not putting it in front of mailboxes. And some of these cul-de-sacs are so small with the driveways and the cul-de-sac, the fire hydrants, there's not too many places to put the snow. So it can be challenging at times, plus it takes time. So that's usually why we do those at the end after we've gotten the mains and the...
That would be the final cleanup after the storm.
Exactly.
So you guys, you go out and it's multiple times you're going to be passing through these streets to different times of the day to try and basically essentially get people out of their driveways and get them so they can get out and go to work, and you can get emergency vehicles up and down the street. And then you can come back as people are off the street, as they move their cars, you're able to come back and clean it up a little bit better. But the main thing is to make sure that everybody gets hit once so that we can make sure that the folks can get out and be able to get out before we get it. And one of the questions I get, exactly, you just hit it, is a lot of folks think that you're taking, because they don't get a lot of snow, at least we haven't recently, they think you're going to take the snow away. And all we're really doing is pushing it somewhere so that people can get through. So, we have to just bear with us a little bit. We're putting it in the best place we can that benefits the most people. And some people are, hopefully, we can come back and take care of some of the things. But it's tough, particularly in the middle of the night when you're driving those big snow plows down these little narrow streets.
And the other issue we have is when people are parked on the street, we have to wait till the next day, or usually when they go to work, to push the snow that's piled up, because we have to keep our gutter system open, because when this starts to melt, it's going to be a tremendous amount of water, and it's got to be able to get to our catch basins. And with these cold temperatures, it could flood and cause the street to have all ice on it.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. When it does start to melt, we have to make sure there's a lot more to it than just going and pushing snow with a plow. We've got to make sure that the entire infrastructure that we have, whether it's the stormwater or the runoff and the catch bases and the gutters, that all that stuff works, that it doesn't get clogged with we think about clogging it sometimes with mud and debris, but it can be clogged probably a lot worse with ice.
Freeze over.
Absolutely. So when we come back at the end of the storm and we're peeling back the snow to the curb lines, that's exactly what we're trying to do, is open up that gutter line to accept that water when it does melt, so it can go into our storm sewer systems and drain properly.
Some of the things that the questions I've gotten over the last couple of days is, do we have enough ice? How do we treat these things? And we pre-treat, and I know we put do we have enough ice? We have enough salt. And kind of tell us how you do that with the pre-treating, and how much salt do we have out there in those barns? I know we have a lot.
We probably have about 3,000 tons on hand. Normal winter is about 1,400 tons. So we've got ample supply of salt. We also use a mixer with our salt to help reduce or take that salt temperature down to about 5 degrees below zero. And that's done with a product that we're using called Aqua Salina. And that has really helped us out in melting the snow and ice and down and getting the pavement clean. We've got plenty of salt on hand. We've got plenty of materials, the Aqua Salina. We have 20,000 gallon capacity at our facility. So we usually keep it up about 5,000 will be the lowest we get. And then we replenish at that time. Okay. So we're looking good material-wise, equipment-wise. We've had some breakdowns, and of course, you run these big trucks, and you've got a lot of different obstacles out there that you hit and run over. So you've got manholes that stick up just a little bit, and we are running steel plows on our trucks. So that really helps scrape that ice and snow and get it really down to the pavement.
I think you guys have done a great job this year. We've had a lot of compliments from the public, and particularly when you compare it to some of the surrounding areas. I know there was a big, real big light up in Cincinnati where they basically kind of dropped the ball for the first week, and I know that our guys have been out. They treat, they pre-treat, they get the trucks out. So they've done a really good job with the small amount of people that we have doing it. Like you said, how many trucks do we have out there on any given night?
Just anywhere 5 to 8.
5 to 8?
Depending. We have a couple part-timers that help us out. Like Cincinnati, they got hit hard. We was lucky. COVID hit our department around Thanksgiving. If that would have been now, we'd have really been in bad shape.
Yeah.
But we was fortunate to make it through the holidays and get everybody back and healthy so that we was ready.
Full crew.
Yes.
Yeah, that's important. Running a full crew and be able to get the folks out there. And you change this whole crew, because normally they're working during the day, 40 hours a day during the day, but when they switch over their schedules to come in the evening based on what they need to do for this.
No, they all worked their complete day. They left at 3:30 and was back in at 9 and worked all night.
Okay, yeah,
So
that's pretty tough.
Yeah, they answered the call.
Yes, that's great. So, we talked about maybe moving some of the cars and getting some of the issues with cars being parked in the street. And we know everybody, some people just have, you just have to have cars in the street because that's just the way it is. And, but, I guess they could, if you can, would it really help if they could pull into the driveways, even if they had to block the sidewalks for a little while during snow events? We're okay with that.
That would definitely make it a little more efficient because we can run down the streets and not have to swing in and out. Like I said, and you don't have to come back the next day. Everybody, when they clear out their driveway, they get that plow that we roll up. Well, if all the cars are parked there and we don't get there till tomorrow to do it, then that's going to plow you back in again. But unfortunate, but we have to keep the gutters open. And so if everybody could get their cars off the street, that makes us a clear path, and we don't have to come back the next day and hit that street again with more time.
And sometimes, the piles refreeze at night. Temperatures drop down to low 20s, teens, and that snow that was all piled there is nothing now but a sheet of ice, or should I say an iceberg. And people want it cleaned off, and we can't break up ice like that. That's too big at that point. So, if the residents could please move their vehicles off the street, that would be a tremendous help for our snow removal operations.
Yeah, especially when they see it starting to really come down, and because they know we're going to have our trucks out there then. That sometime during the evening they're going to come by, so it'd be great to do it. I was guilty. I had my truck my car parked on the side on the street, and didn't get it into the driveway in a timely manner. So you guys had to plow around me. So I'm just like everyone else, and I know better. So it's good advice, and I think it'll make everything. It'll help everyone out, help your neighbors out, help everyone out by getting the cars off the street as soon as we can when there's a snow emergency. Well, I think that's really great. To wrap it up here a little bit, we wanted to give everybody an opportunity to hear right from the horse's mouth here, as we say. People who are on the ground doing the job, and you and your guys, and pass them along. They've done a great job. And this is a communication channel to talk to the public and let them know how we do things. We thank, again, Waycross Media is going to run this, and we want to thank them for that. But anytime we get an opportunity to engage and talk to the public and how we do our jobs, it helps everyone because it sets the expectation as to what they can expect and when they can expect it. And we try and do a great job and provide great service and professional service. We know what we're doing when it comes to plowing these streets and making sure that everything's done properly. So thanks for being here, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And get back out there and get the crew going.
Thank you, Forest Park.
Forest Park, enjoy the snow and stay safe.